Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Recaps and Reacts with yours truly, me, Sarah, where I recap and react to movies or shows, whether it be a blast from the past or something current. I talk about it on this show. If this is your first time coming, hi and welcome. If this is you returning, hi and welcome. Thank you so much, either of you, whether you're new or you've come back. Thank you so much for watching this video and stopping by, and thank you for watching my other videos as well. Today I will be talking about something current. I will be talking about the British dark comedy Tubi's Big Mood, starring Nicola Coughlan and Lydia West. It was written and created by Camilla Whitehall. Disclaimer that I am not a mental health professional, so these are strictly my opinions, as we will be talking about mental health because the show, a main character does have a mental health disorder. They have bipolar disorder. So I do just want to say here, this is your spoiler warning alert. I will be talking a little bit about some of the plot lines of the show, not all of them because I do want you to watch the show, but I will mention some plot lines that are happening in the series. So the series is based off of Maggie and Eddie's friendship, kind of them going through life's ups and downs and how they are navigating through that. So Maggie, one of the main characters, she does have bipolar 2 disorder. And you do see her going through that throughout this whole entire show. So this season is only 6 episodes, and they're about 23 to 25 minute long episodes. And so one thing I thought was unique is that each episode actually is a phase of what Maggie's going through in her illness of bipolar disorder. So we have the first episode called Up, which I'll go into that in a moment. We have the first episode Up, second episode Down, the third episode Deeper, the fourth episode The Middle, the fifth episode The Edge, and the last episode called The Great Beyond. So the show kind of opens up with Maggie's riding on her scooter, going to a bar that Eddie owns. So Maggie is a playwright and Eddie is a bar owner. So Maggie's on her scooter, living her best life, about to go visit Eddie, and she tells Eddie that she has been invited from the school to have a speaking engagement. And Eddie's like, "You're not really going to do it, are you? Because you hate public speaking. Like, why are you doing this?" And she really wants to do it. So Eddie joins her in that adventure and goes to her old, Maggie's old high school with her and has a speaking engagement. And Maggie has some moments at the school. And towards the end of the episode, Eddie is like, "Babe, are you having a manic episode?" And Maggie's like, "No, like I'm fine. Like, just trust me." And so, because she's like, "Well, if you are having a manic episode, you know what happens after that." And Maggie assures her that she's fine. So Maggie goes into her apartment and she's laying down on the couch. She's so happy. And I guess maybe the next day or the second day, it's literally her in the same position, but now it's a little bit darker. She's looking a little disheveled, and you can tell she's very sad, depressed. So that leads you into the second episode, which is called Down. And it kind of showing Maggie kind of just very down on herself. She's very upset. She's very just depressed. So it shows that. And then we do see these text messages that are going back and forth between her and her mother. And Maggie, we're finding out that Maggie's not med compliant. She hasn't been taking her medication. And she says why she hasn't been taking her medication is because she really needs to write another play, but the medication inhibits her from doing so. So she hasn't been taking her medication because I guess she doesn't feel like she can be freely creative when she's on the medication. So she stopped taking the medication. And she went to go see her therapist and was trying to convince her therapist as well that she didn't need the medication. And the therapist was like, "You need it." And she's like, "No, I don't." And she was trying to convince her therapist that she didn't need it. But ultimately, she does go back on the medication. So we start to see The Middle. So Maggie's taking lithium. And they go to like this little festival she invites Eddie to, and she mentions like this little girl that she's seeing with like these little ears or something. And we don't really find out until the fifth episode, which is called The Edge, that the little girl is actually hallucination that Maggie is having. So it seems as though Maggie is having a little bit of side effects. I don't know if it's actually clear if it's the side effects of the medication or it's just the illness. It does seem like this is maybe the first time Maggie has had hallucinations, because she starts looking it up on her phone and trying to see exactly what's happening. So anyway, Maggie's having hallucinations. She's kind of keeping that to herself. She's not telling Eddie anything because Eddie has a moment in the show where she really needs Maggie. So throughout the whole show, or at the beginning of the series, you kind of see Eddie is kind of taking care, and I don't want to say taking care, but really being friend, like she's being there for Maggie when she's going through her struggles of her disorder. Excuse me. So she's going through her struggles of bipolar. So Eddie's there for her, and this time when Eddie actually needs Maggie, Maggie really wants to be there for Eddie, and she doesn't tell Eddie that she's struggling mentally, that she's having these hallucinations. So Eddie has no idea what's going on, but well, she does know that she needs Maggie to be there, and ultimately Maggie cannot be there for Eddie because her hallucinations end up getting worse, and Eddie doesn't know what's going on with Maggie. But that's kind of how the 6th episode ends. It kind of just comes to a head with Maggie's illness, and Eddie is just like, you let me down kind of thing, or kind of vibe, you just let me down. She's disappointed. But again, Maggie doesn't tell Eddie what's going on. So Eddie has really no idea that she's having these hallucinations. And so Eddie's upset with Maggie, and Maggie, it's actually really sad because, you know, Maggie really wanted to be there for Eddie, and she couldn't really be there the way she Eddie needed her to be because she was struggling mentally. So that was sad. So yeah, so the 6th episode kind of leaves off on a cliffhanger, so we don't see what happens until the next season. So we'll see how that plays out. So I liked this show. I appreciated this show. I will say the show is funny as well. So do talk about mental health, but it is actually very funny. That's why it's a dark comedy. It is funny. But I appreciated the fact that if you are not familiar with mental health as a viewer, if a viewer is not familiar with mental health or some of the struggles that somebody may go through with mental health, then this definitely, you will see that on the show. Now, again, it's not one size fits all. Everybody has a different reaction to medication. Everybody has experiences different symptoms with their illnesses, mental illnesses. So we can't say that this is just for, you know, if this happens, it's not for everyone. So I do want to say that. And then I also appreciated that if you do love someone who has a mental illness, the kind of the strain that maybe that can put on a relationship or a friendship or someone you love, you see their struggles. So I did appreciate that, and the love that Maggie and Eddie had for one another, or they have for one another, I should say, their friendship. They've been friends for a decade, if not longer. So Eddie has been through this with Maggie with her. She understands her more than anybody. So yeah, so I did appreciate that. So I like the show. The supporting actors were funny as well. So it's a good show. So it's on Tubi right now. You should check it out. It's an easy watch. You can probably knock it out in a day if you're a binge person. If you like to binge watch shows, you can definitely knock it out in a day, if not a weekend. But good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely will be tuning in next season whenever that comes out. So I will definitely be watching next season. So those are my thoughts on Big Mood. I would love to know your thoughts. Please leave a comment in the comment section, letting me know what you think about the show. Next week, I will be talking about another movie or show. Not sure yet, but please come by next week, and I'll see you then. Bye.